What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Just coming on here, just gonna do a few things on the RM125 project. As you guys probably know, the coronaviruses are taking over the world at this point, so New Zealand's been put into lockdown for a minimum of 4 weeks, so we're in this process now and you're just trying to get through it, but all the shops have been closed and only the essential shops like supermarkets and pharmacies and stuff are open. So all parts shops and stuff for bikes have all been closed up. So yeah, there's not a great deal to do on the 125 at the moment, so videos might be a little bit slow. But yeah, just wanted to come on here and do a few things that we can do on the 125 at the moment. So yeah, first off, we've got the 125 frame rigged up on the stand. And yeah, first we haven't got the stem bearings out. We were going to weld them out, but then sort of realised that if we're going to get the frame powder coated, we may as well leave that in, and then they can powder coat it all. And then if we do it after, there won't be powder there obviously, so the new races will slide straight in. So yeah, we're just going to leave them in, and then yeah, like I said, you can just tack weld them. So if you just like lay a bead around there or just a few tacks, the heat will actually shrink it, and then yeah, they just drop straight out. So we'll do that after it's been powder coated. And if you guys remember from the teardown video, the stop was actually fine on the frame, but if you remember the triple clamps, the lock stops were really badly worn. So this one's actually broken off. And then that one's quite badly worn in as well. So to sort of get around this problem, we're just going to cut that one off sort of flush like that one. We'll clean them up with a file, make them look good. And then, so as what Dad's gone and done is he's welded this bit of like steel bar almost down underneath, so above my finger, that's the original stop, and we've just put that that little bit there, and then obviously that extra bit is making it drop down further, and then it'll hit those other stops. So for example, you can see there it's hitting a lot lower now, so that way it doesn't interfere with anything. We haven't actually modified the location of the stop, and yeah, we've just gone about it so we don't have to use the top part, so it'll all work like factory and all that. And it was an absolute pain in the ass, but the foot pegs obviously just have the foot peg, and then you have your pin running through the middle, but for some reason, I don't know if the bike was left outside previously, and yeah, the pins had actually like rusted inside the foot peg there, so we couldn't like get them out. We tried everything, bashing them with a hammer, like everything, heating them, rapid cooling, all that, and yeah, nothing was breaking the pins loose, so we ended up just having to drill them out very carefully, and then we're obviously trying not to oval out the foot pegs, otherwise you get the good old rattle. So yeah, very carefully we've drilled them out now, and then we're just going to have to run a drill bit through there and get that pin out, and we'll have to order new ones. So I've got the drill press over there, and we'll rig it up to make these sit in a little stand like so, and then it'll drill hopefully perfect through the center. But yeah, both sides were seized. So, but yeah, after all the hiccups on the frame, it is now officially ready to be taken to the sandblasters and then to the powder coaters to get powder coated. Ideally I want to do something a bit different than my RM250. Obviously I don't want to sort of build the same bike over again, you know, so obviously it's going to be a bit different because I'm not spending that much money on it. But yeah, I sort of want to do something a little bit different. We're also getting the hubs on the wheels powder coated black. Same with the shock spring and maybe a few other little bits and pieces. So yeah, just to contrast it, and you got to remember we've got the black rear plastics, and then we'll have the yellow front. We've got the platinum pipe and all that. So yeah, I want to hear what you guys want the frame colour to be. So obviously we've got the few sort of main options. We've got like a satin black like my RM125 frame. Then we've got sort of the OEM metallic silver colour. And then there's possibly yellow. Down below in the comments, let me know what colour you guys want to see on the RM125 frame. And yeah, I'll definitely take into consideration when trying to choose a colour. Because we've got a few weeks to decide now. So sorry if it's a bit noisy as well in this video. Dad's just outside sanding some window frames and stuff for the house. So yeah, if you could just bear with. But carrying on from the 125 teardown video, I can't quite remember if I mentioned it or not, but the primary drive gear bolt is yeah, really tight on the crank, and yeah, our electric impact just didn't have enough grunt to get the bolt out. So yeah, I've gone and got the pneumatic air gun, hook this thing up to the ear, and we'll see if we can get this bolt out. Alrighty, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to go, just because like I'm going to have to hold on to the rod, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't spin and cause some damage, but we'll give it a shot. So it's just a 14mm head. I'll start on level 3 and yeah, hopefully we can get this thing out. There you go, that made it a bit easier. So surprisingly that actually worked amazing. And there we've got a bit of red Loctite, so but got the bolt out now. I really wanted to salvage this crank, so I'm really happy that we actually got this out. Because as you know, the rod is really worn on it, but the crank's still fine, and I'm pretty sure it's the OEM crank. So instead of buying a new crank for it, like a complete crank, we're going to buy like a Pro X rod kit, conrod kit, and we're going to get this crank rebuilt, and yeah, save a little bit of money so we can do other things like get the cylinder replated and stuff. So yeah, just was really hoping that the threads were fine, and looks like they are. So now I'm just gonna grab a rubber hammer and we're just gonna softly hit the crank out, but we're not too worried about putting it out of balance or whatever, because we're going to get it rebuilt anyway. Got shit falling everywhere. Jeez, it scared me for a second there. I thought the case was all pitted and stuff. But there you go, there's the crank. So there's a better representation of how much play this crank does actually have. But yeah, threads all look good. So yeah, we'll get the new rod, which I'll update you guys in a video, and then we can send this away to get rebuilt. Main bearing's a little bit lumpy, we'll be replacing that as well. So we were kind of umming and ahhing whether or not to vapor blast the cases. They are like really dirty, but we're thinking, do we pay the 200 bucks, get everything vapor blasted, or do we, you know, spend a couple hours scrubbing it and everything? But we have decided to vapor blast all the aluminium parts. So for the cases, we need to pop out all the seals and like main bearings, the transmission bearings, and then remove the dowels and the cylinder studs. So yeah, strip the case completely down, and then yeah, we can get them sent off to the vapor blaster after this whole quarantine thing's been and gone. So yeah, we'll get all the seals and bearings tapped out. Unfortunately, I just found a bit of a problem. The drain bolt has been cracked, obviously, and someone's welded it up. So it's not an issue as long as it doesn't leak. It looks like they've done it properly. They've filed it away and stuff so it's flat. But yeah, for some reason it is extremely tight. We just had the normal ratchet on it. I was holding like one end down, Dad was holding the other. And like it was lifting the case off the ground, so I put the impact on it, still nothing. So I've just heated it up with the propane tank, and I've soaked it in a bit of CRC just to try and break it loose. So we'll just yeah, keep applying heat and soaking it, and hopefully we can get a bit of lubrication in there, and hopefully break up whatever, if there's corrosion or whatever in there, whatever's going on in there, and then hopefully, cross my fingers, that we can get it out without destroying it or having to drill it out or something. And yeah, once it's out, we'll just double check, make sure that this weld isn't leaking and there's no other cracks or anything around it, and make sure it's perfectly flat. We'll put a new crush washer on there, and then yeah, it won't leak. So alrighty, so pretty much the only thing we've got left to do on the two center cases is get the cylinder base studs out of both sides, and then we've got these two bearings. I think that one's for the water pump and that one's for the power valve governor. But my blind bearing puller broke on one of my other builds before YouTube, so I'm just gonna have to order a new one of these to get that out, but we can do them after vapor blasting. It just means we're going to have to replace them, but that's alright because we'll just order some through we'll just order some when we get the gears for the transmission. So to get the studs out, I can't remember if I did it on my RM or not, but it's the double nut method. Alright, so I've got these two nuts here. They're both the same, on the ones with the little locking tabs on them. So I'm going to take one and I'm going to put it upside down on the thread like that. You want to thread it decent way on. And then you're going to get the other nut and put it normal way. So then they tighten against each other like that, and then that locks the stud in between the two nuts. And then okay, so change of plan. The studs are way too tight to get out, so we've just decided it's smarter to probably just leave them in there rather than try and end up destroying them trying to get them out and then from there, I don't know what we do with the destroyed studs if we still can't get them out, so we've just decided to leave them in there, which is fine. It'll just go through the vapor blaster, still fine. So yeah, that's going to be it for the engine cases. So they are both ready to go. They're both fully stripped. All the seals and whatnot are all gone. And yeah, I got that bolt out, and yeah, everything looks good. They've actually done a really good job of welding that up. And yeah, actually on camera it looks like it's cracked through here and through there, but they're not actually cracks. So we can get them sent off to the vapor blaster yeah, when everything's open again. And I really should probably strip the cylinder down. Just remember Dad's actually already taken the power valves and stuff out, but should probably pull the studs and things out of this. But yeah, as we're going to get it replated, I'm not sure what the company wants us to do, whether they pull the studs out, leave them in, or whatever. So yeah, I'll do some research and on their website, and yeah, see how they want the cylinder to be sent to them. But I'd imagine they probably want the studs removed and us to send the power valves with it, just for clearancing and all that. Although nothing's open at the moment, I'm still going to go through this transmission, pull it completely apart, and make sure everything's there, all the gears and washers and stuff are there. Yeah, then inspect the gears, and whatever ones look damaged, whether they're chipped or broken or whatever, I'm going to make a bit of a list, get the part numbers, and then start yeah, put a bit of an order through, and of all the OEM parts we need. So yeah, I'm going to go through this transmission now, and I'll update you guys if anything else I find other than the gears and the shift forks and all that. Alright, so I've just gone online on the computer and pulled up a diagram for 2008 Suzuki RM125 transmission. So I've got the, I think this is the output shaft. Yeah, so that's where the sprocket goes on there. So yeah, I've pulled the whole transmission apart and just made sure everything's there. So now I've just got to go through, check every single gear, make sure there's no yeah, worn gears or anything. Like on this gear here, you can sort of see it's a little bit worn and stuff. Oh, there you go. That's chipped and stuff, so just need to go through the whole thing. Because yeah, as you saw in the other transmission, it was yeah, pretty bad because of the shift fork. So yeah, I'll quickly go through all of this, and then I'll let you guys know. Alrighty, so I've just put the transmission, or this transmission shaft back together, just so I know exactly the way that came apart. But after inspecting the gears, I've made a list of the numbers, because you can see on the diagram the different numbers and stuff, and it turns out every gear on this shaft either has worn dogs, chipped gears, or like they've been skimmed over from the dogs on these gears. So that's pretty unfortunate, but yeah, we couldn't really expect much more from this bike, considering it snapped the shift fork. So it is just pretty much what it is, and we'll order all new gears, and it'll be a good selling point too, knowing that it's got a brand new transmission in it, and the new owner won't have any issues. So now I'm just going to grab the other transmission from in the lunchbox here, and we'll swap it over, and then we'll pull the other transmission to bits. Alright, so this is the other transmission shaft. This is the one that the clutch basket bolts onto. So this was the one with the really badly worn gear. There's a better look at it. So yeah, we'll get this shaft stripped apart, and then we'll go through it again. Okay, so here's the transmission shaft fully stripped apart. I haven't really looked through it yet. Obviously this one is the one that got seriously munched up, and the carnage from that shift fork. so that definitely needs replacing. This gear, everything looked good on it. I was like, sweet, because it's obviously like a larger gear, so it's probably more expensive. And then I noticed there's a crack straight through that dog there, so definitely needs replacing. And then this gear is actually good, so this is the first gear that we'll be able to salvage, and this gear looks good. The gear on the shaft looks good as well, which is a bonus, because if that's worn, yeah, you're in for a new shaft. So yeah, we'll just put it back together for now, and then I'll write all the part numbers down first, and then put it all together, and then I can start ordering parts, or put a list together and see how pricey this is going to get. The thing is, I had a bit of a thought and sort of saw a few videos on YouTube, and would you guys be interested in seeing a video of ordering all the parts? So I'll be like streaming my computer screen, and then you see all the parts and stuff we order. Or would you guys, yeah, I don't know if you guys would want to see that or not, if it's worth trying to set that up, or if you guys just want to see the parts when they arrive or anything like that. I'm just trying to get some different video ideas and stuff like that out, and yeah, I don't know, it's just an idea, but let me know down in the comments below. Alrighty guys, so yeah, just finished putting that other transmission shaft back together, and I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. Although we didn't get a lot of stuff done, that's extremely exciting. I just thought I'd update you on the build, and yeah, why videos might slow down over the next month to a month and a half possibly. But yeah, I'll try and keep making videos and stuff of just little stuff like today. But yeah, sorry if it's a little bit boring. I just figured some content's better than no content. So yeah, I'm just trying to throw a few video ideas around inside my head and try and get them out. I'm going to try and put together a build breakdown on my RM125. So that should be up in the next week or so. But yeah, just trying to get a few videos out that probably aren't the normal. But yeah, some progress on the 125 today. Got all the cases and stuff ready. And yeah, checked all the transmission out, which I needed to do so I can price up some new gears for it. And unfortunately it's going to get quite expensive. Yeah, like I said, there was 2 gears that we were going to be able to salvage. One of them was cracked through like a couple of the actual teeth on the gear, and then I mean there's only 1 gear left, so I figured may as well just replace it, to be honest, and yeah, not worry about risking it. I'm also going to replace all 3 shift forks, and yeah, well, we obviously have to replace one, but yeah, like I said, better not to risk it while the engine's apart. So we're just going to replace all the gears and all 3 shift forks. So yeah, down in the comments, leave what colour you think on the frame, and also leave what you reckon about the parts video, whether you want to see that. And yeah, thought it might have been something a bit different that some of you could be interested in. But yeah, as of now, that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please go down and subscribe. Like 90% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you watch the videos and you enjoy them, yeah, please subscribe. It really helps out me and the channel. And yeah, that building my RM125 in 15 minutes video really blew up. I think it's already at like 1,500 views in like 3 weeks or something. So yeah, I'm really thankful for that. But yeah, if you could definitely go down and subscribe, that'd be such a great help. And also go over on Instagram and follow us there, just @MotivatorNZ. And after that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.